Welcome to Camberwell Connections. It's Friday, July 3rd, and today we've got a suggestion for small groups. But first, a big thank you to everyone who came to our trivia night on Saturday. And especially to Alan for leading us on the night and all the preparation beforehand, and for your impromptu lesson on robotics. It was super fun. And now about small groups. We know that some groups are meeting online and some groups are meeting in homes where the maximum number of guests is 5. But today we want to present another opportunity if you'd like to meet in a more controlled environment. We've set up the main hall to cater for small groups of up to 10, properly spaced for prayer and Bible study. If you would like to use this space, you can email core.camberwell@salvationarmy.org.au and we can organise a time for your group. In the hub this week, you'll see a list of items that we're looking to stock up on at the moment. They include instant noodles, baked beans and rice. We're so grateful for your continued support in this area. And now to worship. This week, Heather will be looking at Philippians chapter 3 and the invitation to live with purpose, to keep our eyes fixed on the prize. There's an interesting verse in there. Paul describes how he lives, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead. But what is this forgetting that he's talking about? One thing I know for certain is that he's not talking about God. As we enter a new month and another milestone in this crisis, as I've examined my own thoughts and as I've talked to friends and colleagues, there's an underlying theme of monotony and sameness and an unnerving relentlessness that has crept in. If we're not careful, we can fail to see what God is doing and forget what He has done. But we can help one another with this. The book of Deuteronomy records Moses' final address to the people that he's led for decades. He wants to help them. They're about to cross the Jordan River and enter the Promised Land, and they're not going to have Moses' stable presence and leadership with them. And so he chooses his parting words to them very carefully. He says this, "Only be careful and watch yourselves closely so that you do not forget the things your eyes have seen or let them fade from your heart as long as you live. Teach them to your children and to their children after them." Remember not to forget. Don't forget to remember. Remember to remember. It takes effort to remember, and so I'm trying something new this month because I don't want to look back at this time and see only monotony. Instead, I want to remember what God is doing. And so I'm asking myself 3 simple questions, and you might like to take a few minutes to think about them yourself. In the month of June, where did you see God at work? What's one thing that you've learned? And what has been life-giving to you? Can I encourage you in these days that seem to go on and on and on, to remember God's goodness, God's grace, and His love.